Once again, good morning. We are on to another edition of electronic manual of Epsilon Software solution, where we describe the features of the solution. Today, we'll be talking about another enhancement that has to do with where we keep register of cash that has been accepted in our various departments, be it reception, restaurant, or kitchen, for services we render to our customer. This, as you can see from my screen, this is put under services. And when you collapse services further, you see other services and geology services. In this time around, we're looking at other services. And under this place, we have one item for now, which is where we register cash deposit to bank. Clicking on that, we have only few items to record here. Automatically, the user is a user of outlet 001, that's like branches of the hotel. And then we indicate the hotel code by pressing Ctrl L on our button, and all the list of hotels will come up. I'm choosing this, the rules of the exercise. Now, which bank are we taking the fund to? This is an assumption that after accepting cash, and we have enough cash to take to the bank, by the time you take the cash to the bank, you get a receipt or a teller, and then you come back to record the successful lodging of the fund into the bank. The hotel has been defined with various bank accounts that we run with various banks. So at this point, we just choose which of the bank by using Ctrl L. These are all the bank's accounts we have in this bank defined at the creation of the hotel parameters. So if I'm taking the money to Senate Bank, the hotel has two different accounts at Senate banks. As you can see, we indicate the correct account because this will form the mirror of transaction between our enterprise. This time I'm talking about the hotel and our banks. That is the banks of the hotel. So once we do this, we move to the next column. How much are we lodging in this bank and this account for this hotel? The amount you are going to lodge there at this field where we are is going to be validated against this user and the cash at hand by this user in the bank. Because the assumption is that what we are registering here is the bank, is to bank the cash we have collected when rendering our services. So I'm assuming maybe this person is a front desk officer, which can accept cash. He or she can also accept transfer, POS, and so on. So we're assuming out of a whole day transaction, all the type of cash that he accepts from the customer are going to be lodged into the bank. So system know how much he has at this junction. So if he sends an amount that varies with the amount he has, system will prompt him, though it will not stop him or her, but it will allow the user to enter the amount. The assumption here is that the person has been able to pay the money to the bank. So you have been able to lodge the money to the bank. So when you come here, you just register it in the system. One thing we have done so far, which we can always modify for any of our clients, is that it will prompt you, but not stop you from going ahead. But if our client wants us to stop, then we'll stop the person from going ahead if it does not meet the criteria set by the hotel. For example, for this customer, for this front desk officer that has collected cash and wants to lodge the cash in the bank. Let's say he's trying to lodge 230,000 in the bank. Once I do this, system go to the validation. You can see the screen. Say you are sending more than your Piggy bank balance to the bank. Are you sure you really want to have this amount in your Piggy bank? The Piggy bank balance is 0. It means this teller does not, or this receptionist, let me put it that way now, or this front desk officer does not have any cash in the Piggy bank. But is still lodging money in the bank. So we'll say this. So if it is you are lodging for somebody or whatever, that means you can go ahead, maybe because the person is not there to do it on the system, to allow you to go ahead. But the only issue we have is that as soon as the system finishes this lodgement, it's going to go and validate the cash at hand, the piggy bank balance of this user. And we have put a constraint which can also remove if the client wants us to do it that way. As at now, the constraint is there, and you see what system will say when we want to save this deposit. So let's assume the receiver here is like the teller that received from us. Definitely when we get received from the bank, the name of the teller is always there. So we'll put the name here. This is for reconciliation purpose between what we have done. We can always print out our record in our system and compare with the bank for reconciliation. So let me say the cost. Let me assume that the receiver here is beside the bank, and then the teller or the receipt number, whichever is applicable, is what I just entered now. And then you can see the transaction date. This is the date of our system, 2nd July. Then we can always indicate the date you move. This date, movement date here, represents the date of the bank when you actually deposit the money. So this is date you create in our own system. Ideally, the date is supposed to be the same, but we are creating flexibility so that for any reason, if you don't take the cash to the bank the previous day and the close of business has been done, where the state has changed, you can easily indicate the date you are taking the cash to the bank. So in this case, let's assume it's the same date. And then let's try and save and see what happened. I'm trying to save now. Waiting for the feedback. System said the cash deposit record failed with the error code -2290 Oracle exception of check constraint on table. What this simply means is that, like I said, I put a constraint on the table for balance of the front desk officer, that is the cash balance now, such that the cash balance can never go to zero, can never go below 0. You can never keep a negative amount. The system is trying to update the balance of the cash at hand by this front desk officer and find out that it's going to go to negative. Remember, when we are at this amount field, foundation response came and said the balance is 0. So it means if he's going to accept that you're taking this money to bank, then when it does update of his piggyback balance, it's going to go to negative 230,000. And we have said no. Systems always check and don't allow that to happen. That's why this check is there. So in this case, we cannot save this transaction for now because we have put that constraint there. What I'll do is I'll try to look for a teller, or let me see, sorry for using that wrong word. I'll try to look for a front desk officer that has substantial amount of cash in his piggy bank and they want to transfer it to the bank. Then we'll now try to see how this is done. Or in the alternative, I think I will do it this way. In the alternative, let this front desk officer go and do a lodging service or go and do a sales. Let's go to occasional restaurants and make a sale and accept cash as means of payment. And they will try to move the same cash to the bank and see how it works. So here, this is sales, stock, and expense processing. And then the person is trying to make sales. Now, let's take multiple sales option. Now, we have a working customer. Into our hotel. I will use the same hotel code that I was using before. I brought, so this person is managing bar 001 in this hotel. Sorry, I think I jumped working customer. The hotel is in the barcode. Now, sales detail. What sales is he making? Let's look at the products that I want to buy. Okay. 001. Unit 16 bottles. 11,200. Now again, the same hotel is buying Star Lager unit. Is buying 28 bottles. And then let's buy one more item. Apple Lager unit, 22 bottles. Now this is total amount, 41,200. So payment details. Is paying to us through cash. Paying cash. For cash, it can only be Pigi Bank. If you don't choose Pigi Bank, that will not allow you because cash goes into your bank as the front desk officer making the sale. So 41,200 is what we call it. Remember, this is a working customer. They will save. Multiple sales bar completed with bar MES01. The bar sales master created successfully. As what guess is this. So sequence number is this. We have 3 items. Each of the item is given to us. So that's why I have to ask number 3 times, because we're going to have the record of each one of the product that we have sold. So here now, my assumption is that this customer and the front desk officer that made the sale supposed to have certain amount of cash in his or her Pigi Bank. So let's go back now. I think you remember the hotel involved. This hotel involved. Then which bank are we taking the money to this time around? Let's say we are taking the money to a bank account of this hotel. Bank account. How much? Okay, let's do something. 40,000. System says you are sending less than your Pigi Bank balance to bank. Are you sure of this? Your Pigi Bank balance for 1,200. Remember, that's balance of this person. Okay, we are balanced. So just wanted to send time and leave some little of cash. Yeah, so we are sending 40,000 instead of the entire amount. I'm just leaving what can refer to as petty cash. So let's say this person is the teller number after paying in the bank is this. So we are moving as to say today's date. then we save. Cash deposit register completed with code. Cash dep 01, meaning the cash deposit register is successful. So what it means is that this person has been able to move money to move the cash to the bank successfully. So it will reflect the balance in our account inside our system, as well as reflecting the balance in the bank. So what we have here is a mirror account of all our balances with the bank. Now, after doing this, now we have also developed another inquiry module where we can really see all the various cash that have been moved to banks. Now, for example, let me go back to inquiry. Under this inquiry, we have lodging inquiry, cash letter inquiry, payment code inquiry. So we want to check inquiry on cash. Daily cash deposits to bank, cash transaction mode. Let's pick cash transaction mode first and let's see what we have there. Now, on this cash transaction mode, remember, if you look at this line, this is the cash transaction that has been done when this same front desk officer makes sales. Total of 4,200. If I click on this, what make up the amount? System